So good morning, everyone. I am Joseph Limo. Welcome to our webinar this morning. Really excited to have you join us and take a look at what's probably the most exciting opportunity for a real estate professional in easily the last 20 years. So I'm Joseph Limo. I'm one of the real estate brokers here at eXp Realty. Been selling real estate for about 15 years. Been really fortunate to start a career where I've seen a lot of different brokerage models. I've been a part of real estate teams in the past, and seeing what's out there and then seeing this model is just something that is very, very different. And so this morning, I'm really excited for some of you guys to see this for the first time, because I remember that experience for me and it was pretty powerful. So today we're going to talk about who eXp is as an organization, a lot about our business model, and what it looks like for a real estate professional to move their business here. So I think everyone can agree that technology is really changing pretty much everything, right? I'm sure you guys remember there a long time ago when a Friday would happen and we were going to relax with the family and just watch a movie. We literally would call that a blockbuster night. Well, we all know that Netflix has pretty much eliminated Blockbuster and that model altogether. In fact, I believe there's still only one Blockbuster left in the state of Oregon. That's it. So something that not only was a staple in our communities, but even culturally an event that we would refer to as a Blockbuster night is all but gone. We know how much Amazon is changing things in terms of how we shop and what kind of stores are available to us just locally in our markets. And even, for example, think about Uber and Lyft. I mean, these are phone apps that have literally completely changed the taxi industry. And you guys are very early to see that that exact same kind of transition is happening in the real estate brokerage space with our traditional real estate models versus what eXp Realty is doing. So you're very early on to see what that's looking like and how quickly we're disrupting this real estate space as well. And let's kind of talk about how that's happening. So, I'm going to talk to you guys really briefly about where the real estate industry has been and why we're really ready for this change. What we're going to look at really briefly here is the real estate models that we've been working with since Coldwell Banker from 1906. 1971 Century 21, 1972 Remax, and 1983 Keller Williams. And it's basically this model where if you look at a company, right, you either have a franchise or maybe a boutique brokerage, but you have the franchise or the company owner, some kind of middle management or managing broker, regional managers, franchise owners, and then you have the real estate agent. In these dynamics, in these functions of the real estate brokerage, the only party who actually produced revenue is the real estate agent. But in these models, all of the revenue that's generated by the agent flows up to the owners, the franchisees, the managers, all of these different parties, right? So what eXp Realty has decided to do, because we have that disruptive technology, and I'll get into that in a moment, what we've essentially done is had the ability to eliminate a lot of those middlemen. And instead of just saying, you know what, we can just make a whole bunch of money like other technology-based companies in terms of our efficient business model, why don't we make our real estate agents, the ones who actually produce the revenue to begin with, owners? And so that's what the eXp model is doing, and that's why we're so disruptive. We are the fastest growing real estate brokerage in history ×3. And there's really three main reasons why this is happening, and we're going to dive into all of them today. Number one, as I mentioned, is technology. Our cloud office is the conduit to all of these benefits because we have such an efficient business model because of our technology. That's really what allows us to eliminate all of these other really expensive costs in our model and put our agents at the driver's seat. Then we made sure that our agents have ownership stake in the company by actually having the ability through stock acquisition, build an equity position in the company. And third, our agents get to participate in a revenue sharing platform that is essentially referral fees from other agents anywhere where we do business, and that'll make a lot of sense in a minute. So this is really the disruption in the brokerage model. And I'm glad you're here because this is all about how you get to benefit from it. So the disruptive technology that we're starting with is really our eXp office. It's a cloud-based office. So a lot of people think, oh, you have a cloud-based brokerage, that means you have no office. And that's wrong. We absolutely have an office, except our office exists in the cloud, and I can access it anywhere in the world that I have an internet connection. In our office space, we have the ability to do large-scale meetings, daily trainings. We have over 300 support staff there for an agent during business hours on any given day to support the agent in anything that they need, be it going to speak to your state broker, going to review a file with one of our compliance team, anything that you can think of, even a tech outpost to help you with technology issues. All of those people are available in our cloud, literally at your fingertips, as long as you have an internet connection. So I would actually argue that our office, because it eliminates geographic limitations, is actually far superior than a brick and mortar office that most people are accustomed to. So this is our disruptive technology that we have, and it comes with a whole bunch of benefits. But again, the main one is simply that it eliminates massive expenses by having leases or office buildings that we own. We've eliminated the cost of brick and mortar, which really is the conduit to all the other benefits that we have. We have amazing training in our cloud as well, because when you eliminate geographic limitations, that means I don't have to be lucky enough to be nearby a great real estate coach or trainer. In the cloud, I get to receive training from some of the best in the industry, regardless of where they live. So for example, Jeff Cook has a great team out in South Carolina. They're doing over 1,000 units a year. I get to learn directly from him and his team on how they're just crushing it in terms of lead generation, conversion, and ultimately real estate production. And I get to interact with them in real time in that kind of coaching session. So over 20 hours of that kind of live training is available every single week. And the beauty is I can listen to that training when I'm driving in my car, sitting in my office, whatever it is that I'm doing. I don't have to just go and drive to one specific location, sit there and listen. I can do it on my way to a showing appointment, for example. But one thing that eXp Realty did that was really, really smart, we already talked about Uber and Lyft and how they've completely transformed the taxi industry. What's beautiful is Uber actually started, launched, grew, and changed an industry, and they actually owned 0 cars in the process. Instead, what they did is they had a model where they leveraged other people's vehicles or other people's assets. What eXp Realty has done with Regus, if you guys aren't familiar with Regus is a worldwide conglomerate of workspace environments. So we have Regus offices all throughout the United States and the world. And as an eXp agent, I have an account with Regus. So anywhere where there's a Regus office, I can walk right in, show my account, and have free access to their common area. So even though we don't own or have leases for brick and mortar, as an eXp agent, I actually have way more offices than probably any other real estate professional that's not with eXp Realty, except our model doesn't bear us down by having such expense associated with them. So a really smart plan, because some people say, hey, I still have a seller or a buyer who wants to meet in my office. Great, have them go to the local Regus. So I'm here in Southern California, like Rancho Cucamonga Inland Empire area. But if I took a listing down in San Diego and the seller said, hey, I want to see that your local office, all I have to do is go on my app, pull up Regus, and tell them that address, and they would never know the difference. So here's the beauty about eXp Realty and how our brokerage model is different. Number one, we are a single brokerage, not a whole bunch of individual franchises. What does that mean? That means we move and have power in terms of our leverage and opportunity as a single powerful brokerage, not just one small office here versus there. The most important part of it, though, is when we talk about the agent being in an ownership position, we're not talking about owning a small franchise or a small office or a small region. Our agents who get to participate in that equity program as well as the revenue share, that's all based on one massive brokerage throughout the entire United States and Canada. So we're not asking you to get all excited about potentially owning a franchise. You're building an equity position in a massive brokerage, all one single brokerage. This has been our growth since about 2013. I'm going to share with you guys, we've actually started back in 2009, but just to kind of give you an idea of what our growth has looked like, you can see it's that really nice hockey stick kind of growth in terms of agent count. Now, here's why this is important. At eXp Realty, we are growing 100% organically, all right? Word of mouth. You're not going to see commercials. You're not going to see hired recruiters for eXp Realty. The only way an agent gets to come and work at our company is if one of our agents invites you to come and work at eXp Realty. That is the only way that we grow. So think about it. We are the fastest growing real estate brokerage in history ×3. This chart you're looking at is record-setting growth in terms of agent count. And all of that happened by word of mouth organic growth. So you kind of have to ask yourself, why are your agents so excited about eXp Realty to share it with other people? Well, I'm going to dive into that. Really briefly, our CEO and founder, Glenn Sanford, brilliant man, won't tell you a ton about his story right now, but here's what I'll share with you. This is a guy that helped AOL with lead generation that long ago. So he's very technology forward, and he was a really high producing real estate practitioner in Arizona. So we've got someone who understands real estate from the ground level up as a producing agent, and the ability to leverage technology and emerging technologies. That's who's really founded this brokerage. And I think once you see the rest of this model today, you're going to understand why that's so important. So as I mentioned, we started back in 2009, and I always love to kind of make sure people are clear about this. Does everyone remember what the real estate market looked like back in 2009? Because some people go, oh, I see all these brokerages popping up when markets are good, and it's been good for a while. 2009, if everyone will recall, the dust wasn't even settled yet. We had such a massive crash in our real estate market. I mean, I think everyone can recall just how dramatic things shifted in a very short period of time. So that's where eXp Realty was founded and started back then. And even in its first year, you can see here in 2010, they celebrated their first anniversary, already open in 11 states. So starting when the market was that bad, and in its first year open in 11 states, you know that you're onto something. So I'm not going to tell you all the different accolades. You can see them here on the screen. A couple of things I will point out to you. 2016 tripled our agent count. As a publicly traded company, in 2018, we were uplisted to be traded on the NASDAQ. That is massively important. Just so you guys know, the NASDAQ for a company like ours is a really, really big deal. And that's the level of company that you will have the ability to have an ownership stake in. And then, of course, also last year, a whole bunch of accolades from Inman, Glassdoor, and some other industry recognition. At eXp Realty, I'll also tell you this, production's super important to us. And you can see here some of the accolades from the industry. Here's how we do it. Not only here at eXp Realty do they have this amazing platform, but we've got these lead generation strategies that are second to none. There's a lot of concern out there about the iBuyers and Zillow coming in to kind of become a brokerage and circumvent agents. You know, we've created platforms where we have, for example, an online auction platform that's really helping us with conversion on for sale by owners and expireds. And if someone comes to us and goes, you know, I really want to get going on my social media or online marketing platforms, the real question just becomes, do you have more money than time or more time than money? Because whatever that balance is that you're looking for, we have solutions to help you. And here's where it all starts. Let's talk about some of the solutions that eXp offers. So every agent that joins us, because we have this incredible business model, we have the ability to offer our agents KV Core or conversion. I'm sure you guys are familiar. This is one of the absolute best CRM and lead generation platforms that the real estate industry offers at all. Now, this is not exclusive to eXp Realty. As an agent, you can go get KV Core anytime you'd like. It's not cheap. It's probably about a $500 setup fee plus about $500 to $600 per month. we get this and a whole bunch of other technology for $50 a month, which is our technology fee. So $500 a month or $50 a month. For me, it makes a lot more sense to pay $50 a month to get this and a whole bunch of other technology and leverage a powerful system that's not only going to help you make sure that you're managing all of your contacts, but if you want to run a Facebook ad, all you have to do is create a squeeze page right here on your KV course site. You have your front end website, of course. When someone goes to that lead capture site, it can automatically put them right into your CRM. If you do all the proper setup, not only will they be tagged as, for example, a buyer, they're going to go on your drip campaign that includes email, text messages, and a phone call campaign. And I've set mine up, for example, for over 1,000 days of follow-up. All of that happens because someone clicked on a Facebook ad of yours if you have a powerful system like this one. So again, we're all focused on how do we help our agents produce and sell more real estate. This kind of technology is a massive driver. We also leverage SkySlope, which is our transaction management tool. So SkySlope really allows us to make sure that when we're in escrow or working on a deal, we have a great system that allows us to be completely paperless if we choose to, has a digital signer. My favorite part is you put in what kind of transaction it is, be it a buyer side standard transaction or a probate listing that you've taken. And after you input that information, it'll auto-populate a checklist to make sure you know every single document required for your transaction to be compliant and cleared. And that all happens with a click of a button. We also have our intranet as a workplace by Facebook. So our company intranet is not some boring website, it's more of a social media platform. The power here is simply this. There are massive opportunities for referral business in workplace and a whole bunch of really great groups that are set up there by agents for agents, meaning if you really want to understand KV Core, or you're really good at farming, or maybe you're really good at cold calling, you're going to find groups inside of Workplace with our real estate professionals across the entire US and Canada sharing their best tips, all the best advice that they can offer, role-playing opportunities, just a whole bunch of collaboration. Now, I know a lot of people think they have something like this at their current brokerage. I'm going to tell you now, ours is different. Here's why. We're going to dive into how every single eXp agent is an owner of the company. When you own a company and you want that company to thrive, you're going to share with other agents how to produce more real estate, and you're going to stop looking at your colleagues like they're the enemy. We're not going to be in this position anymore where it's dog eat dog. We're going to go out there as a wolf pack, right? Not as a solo wolf anymore. So the collaboration that you find on Workplace and all of our other platforms where we're getting together as agents and helping each other is massively different. We also have all the marketing and branding that you could ever want easily at the click of a fingertip. What's really great here is that if I take a brand new listing and I need to get out there and start door knocking that neighborhood, it'll literally take me 15 minutes to go in and create a beautiful flyer, a door hanger, you know, so I can just hang it on the door with a hook. Whatever kind of collateral I need, just a couple of clicks, it's going to be beautifully designed, it's going to be absolutely compliant, and then I can either print it right here on my own printer in my office, or I can send it off to be professionally printed and delivered to me. You know, if I need to go out the door right then and there and go door knock, printing it from my computer and gone. If I need it for an open house in a few days, maybe I'll just have it professionally printed. That will come at a cost, but it's fairly minimal, and delivered to my doorstep, so I have beautifully designed and of course well printed marketing collateral for that new listing. Now, eXp Enterprise is really the hub of everything that we have here outside of our eXp office. So eXp Enterprise is a proprietary software of ours, okay? And this is essentially a CFO report for your real estate business, meaning every real estate coach that anyone has ever had is going to tell you to track your numbers, right? We hear that all of the time. Here at eXp Realty, this system does it for us. So where you're at year to date on closings or commissions earned or even fees paid, all of those things are tracked in-house for you inside of Enterprise. And again, It's a single sign-on to everything else that we have going on here at eXp Realty. So let's look at our business model, and then we're going to get into the main event that you guys are waiting for. So every agent at eXp Realty is on an 80-20 split, okay, with a $16,000 cap. So everyone here gets the same deal. If you've done one deal in your career or 10,000 homes sold, everyone has the exact same deal here at eXp Realty. So just to make sure everyone's clear, a commission cap is not a cap on you as the agent, it's a cap on what the company is going to get paid. So you're on an 80-20 split until the 20% that goes to company dollar hits 16,000. Then eXp transitions you to a 100% commission model with a $250 transaction fee. That's it. To get started with our company, it's $149. And our monthly cost for our agents is $50 a month for the technology fee and $35 a month, which pays for everything that our eXp office has to offer you. So it's $85 a month, clean and simple. Now, when you close a transaction, there's a $25 broker review and a $40 risk management fee, also known as E&O insurance, right? Everyone's familiar with E&O. The good news is the E&O insurance is capped at $500 a year. So if you do 2 deals, you're only going to pay $80, but if you did 10,000 deals in 1 year, you're only going to pay $500 total in E&O, regardless of how many deals you do. The max you'll pay is $500. If you only do 2 deals, though, of course, you're only paying $80. So those are maximums. Now, here is the massive win for agents. I mentioned before that all of our agents are owners of the company, and that was not just some fun slogan. It's absolutely real here. So at eXp Realty, being a real estate practitioner, just by going out and doing what we're already supposed to do, which is go sell real estate, we start to build an equity position within this one massive brokerage with technology that's disrupting the entire industry. So what you'll see here is our sustainable equity plan. Every time you close your first transaction of the year for your anniversary date, the company is going to give you shares of the company stock. When you cap, meaning you've paid the company up to $16,000 on the 80-20 split and you've converted to the 100% model for the rest of the year, when you do that, meaning you've capped, they're going to give you more shares of stock in the company. And as I mentioned before, at eXp Realty, to be an agent here, you have to be invited from one of our agents. So you as an eXp Realty agent, if you invite someone else to come and work at eXp Realty, when they close their very first transaction, the company will again award you more shares of stock. We also have this really incredible Icon Agent Award. An Icon Agent is anyone who caps plus does another 20 transactions within the same year. When you do that, we recognize you as an Icon Agent, and that $16,000 cap that you paid into the company, eXp Realty is going to get that $16,000 and award it to you back in the form of company stock. And then, of course, we also have our agent equity program. This one's one of my favorites. So I've worked at other brokerages I've mentioned before. Century 21 was one of them. Great company. I don't have anything bad to say about them. But I do remember on my 70-30 split at Century 21, I just couldn't make the math work. And what my broker had to remind me is, you're not adding in the 8% franchise fee that comes right off the top. So every time I did a deal at Century 21, 8% of my commission dollars went to a franchise owner, gone. It went to the franchise. Someone's family was getting really, really rich every time I and every other agent there closed the transaction. Well, here, our agent equity program is optional, so it's a choice for you to make. You can turn it on, turn it off. It's completely up to you. But the way that I look at this is, instead of paying 8% to some franchise company, I have the ability now to choose to take 5% of my commission dollars and buy our company stock at a 20% discount. So the way that I look at this is, I now pay my own family a franchise fee, and that essentially is building up my equity position in a company so that when I'm done with this real estate career, I'm going to have a lot to show for it. But again, that's completely a choice, up to you if you want to participate in that program. But again, the ability to buy a stock that is publicly traded at a 20% discount is a massive opportunity for our real estate agents. Now, here's the main event. At eXp Realty, not only do you build an equity position in our company, you also have the ability to participate in revenue sharing. Here's how this works. When you invite another agent to work at eXp Realty, because again, that's the only way that we grow, but when you do that and an agent makes the move, you get to earn up to 3.5% gross commission from their production, meaning not out of the agent's pocket, but out of company dollar. So you could earn up to $2,800 annually for every agent that you invite to work here at eXp Realty. So real quick, why is there a maximum of $2,800 per year? It's actually really simple. Because when an agent caps, meaning they go from the 80-20 model to 100%, then there is no more revenue produced. And if there's no more revenue produced, there's no more revenue to share. So this is all based on numbers, assuming an agent is a capper, okay? So if an agent caps, you can earn up to $2,800 per year. Here's what's great about our revenue sharing platform though. They don't have to cap for you to get paid. Every time they do a deal, you're compensated from company dollar for that production. So I'll give you a quick example. Let's say you know an agent named John. He's a good buddy of yours. You say, John, eXp Realty is incredible. You should check it out because I'm loving it here. He looks at the company, makes the move. His first transaction, let's say, is a $300,000 sale. His commission on that is $9,000 in this example. So what that would mean is the very next month on the 22nd, you are going to get a direct deposit into your account for $315. And every time John does another deal, you're again going to get the very next month direct deposited that money from the company dollar based on that production until you've earned $2,800 for that year from John's production. Then when his cap resets the following year, it starts all over again, year after year after year. It doesn't end. Here's the better news. Our revenue sharing actually is a cascading model. What does that mean? Well, it means a couple of things. Number one, you're not limited to just invite one agent. You can invite 1, 0, 100. It's completely up to you. How many agents do you know? How many agents do you like? How many agents do you think would be a good fit here? Completely your prerogative. But let's just say for this example, let's say you invited 5 agents personally to eXp Realty, right? And John, being one of them, says, you know, I really like that revenue share that you get on the 22nd of every month. I think I want some of that too. So John, in turn, goes and invites a couple of agents to eXp Realty so he can participate in revenue share. Well, in this example, when John does that, the agents he invited to the company, you are actually going to have them on your tier 2, which means you can earn up to $3,200 out of the company dollar for those agents' production each, and still up to $2,800 for every agent you personally invite to the company. It's a cascading model. It actually cascades up to 7 tiers, which is absolutely incredible. So I'm going to briefly kind of give you an overview of this graph that we're looking at, but don't worry, this took me like literally 3 months to figure out. So you probably won't walk away from this understanding the revenue share model today, but that's why we would love to have more time to chat with you and answer questions. But here's how it works. On the left-hand side, you're going to see tiers 1 through 7. In the middle, you're going to see the maximum that you could earn per agent's production on every single one of those tiers. Again, not coming out of the agent's pocket. This is out of company dollar. And then on the right-hand side, you're going to see what it takes to qualify for every one of those tiers. At eXp Realty, one of our core values is sustainability. They really understand how important it is to create a model that not only is sustainable as we grow, but becomes more and more robust and powerful as we grow. So for that reason, they've built a revenue sharing platform that really allows for more compensation based on your contribution. So here's how it works. every agent that you personally invite to eXp Realty will land on tier 1 for you. Okay. Now that could be one agent, it could be 100, 200, whatever you want to do in your business. But every time you personally invite an agent to eXp Realty, that's someone on your tier 1. So John, example, in our previous example, is on your tier 1. Now, when John invites agents to eXp Realty, those agents would land on your tier 2. Now, to the right, you'll see that to qualify for tier 2 to get compensated on that level, you need 5 of your own agents that you've personally invited, meaning 5 agents on your tier 1. To qualify for tier 3, you need to have invited 10 agents of your own on tier 1. For tier 4, 15 agents of your own. For tier 5, 20, tier 6, 25, and for tier 7, all the way down, qualifying for every single one of the tiers, you must have invited at least 40 agents of your own at eXp Realty. Now remember, this is a marathon, not a sprint. This isn't something that you have to necessarily do tomorrow. We don't want you to change focuses. We've shared with you at eXp Realty, an agent's production is massively important. So we want all of our agents to just focus on doing what they do best, helping sellers sell homes, buyers buy homes. And in that process, we meet a whole bunch of great colleagues out there in the real estate space who really need this model. And let me show you how powerful this becomes. So let's just take this as an example. Let's say over the next year, right? You make the move to eXp Realty now, and over the next year, you either know or run into 5 other real estate professionals that you show this model to, and they make the move to eXp Realty. So those 5 that you personally invited would be on your tier 1. So as you know, you can earn up to $2,800 per agent on tier 1, assuming they're cappers. This is all based on the assumption that they cap. But if you had 5 capping agents on tier 1, that would be $14,000 a year in revenue share. Now, that's in 1 year, if in this example. Let's say in the next 2 years, we help those 5 agents just simply do what you did, which is invite 5 agents of their own that are 5 capping agents. If those 5 invite 5, that means you'll have 25 agents on tier 2. And as you know, you can earn up to $3,200 per agent. That's another $80,000 in revenue share annually. So what I'm showing you here is literally in the next 3 years, here's a very doable, sustainable plan for you to create a $94,000 annual income. Now, again, this is based on agents who cap all 30 agents, 5 here and 25 here, assuming they're all cappers. Does every agent cap every year? No. Some agents are going to cap, some people are going to become icon agents. It's all a mixture. This is just for the example, though, assuming they're all cappers. This is how you can create an annual residual income of $94,000. And this is something that can easily be done like in a 1-5-year plan. It doesn't matter. The point is, when you get there, this can't be taken away from you. Here's the best part. I haven't even started talking about tiers 3, 4, 5, 6, or 7. This is a $94,000 annual residual income in this example based on tiers 1 and tiers 2. So here's why I feel like this is really important. So many real estate professionals spend their entire careers making really smart business decisions, working their tail off with no compensation until a closing. We are the only ones driving revenue for our real estate brokerages, and for so many agents at the end of their career, they have nothing to show for it. So if there's nothing else that I can do for a real estate professional, I'd love to make sure that they can retire from real estate with a $94,000 a year annual residual income. And I don't think that that's like being a millionaire, right? That means they're going to be okay. So if you don't come to eXp Realty, no problem. Let's still try and help you have a residual income like I just showed you we can help you do literally in a couple of years. But here's what the equivalent would be. For you to have a $94,000 residual income, that's the equivalent of having over $1.5 million in the bank, earning a 6% interest rate. I don't know many banks that are offering 6%, okay, but we're being very generous. Let's say you can find one. That means if a bank's offering 6%, you'll need over $1.5 million in the bank. So what that means is, at your current brokerage, do you have a plan? Are you on pace? Do you have some kind of structure and ability and precedence for you to earn $1.56 million and stash it in the bank? This is after taxes, this is after expenses. That's like the equivalent of stockpiling $100,000 a year for the next 15 years. At your current brokerage, do you have a plan and ability? Is someone teaching you and helping develop you so that you have the ability to walk away from this career saving $1.56 million? If you don't, the question, in my opinion, is why? And that's why at eXp Realty, we really believe that our business model and our value proposition to a real estate professional is so good that it's financially irresponsible for an agent to hang their license and build their career anywhere else. I'm going to share this with you guys. This is just a simple overview for you guys to get exposure to this groundbreaking model that is completely disrupting the real estate space. Again, we're the fastest growing brokerage in history ×3. And now you know why. Because we have flipped the script by eliminating the middle management, the franchise owners, the yada, yada. No, we're empowering and putting ownership back into the hands of the people who generate the revenue, which is the real estate professional. So here's what I'm going to share with you. Ask questions. Whoever invited you on this webinar this morning, get with them. Run numbers. Find out, what did you do in production last year? And what would that same production last year, what would that have looked like here at eXp Realty? We want to make sure it's a financially sound move for you, and we're extremely confident that it will be. Dive into this model again and start to understand exactly what it would look like for you here. Here's the beauty. To go out and get our ICA, our independent contractor agreement, that's the same contract you sign when you're with any other real estate brokerage, being the Coldwell Bankers or the Century 21s, whatever. All you have to do is go online and fill out a very simple application, get with the person that invited you. They'll tell you what that link is for you and get your application. And once you fill out the online app that takes 5 minutes, you'll immediately have access to the independent contractor agreement to review and hopefully sign. And that will put you in a position where you're starting to make that move to eXp Realty and become an owner. Now, before we go, I want to share this with you guys. You guys all know this handsome young man, Mr. Zuckerberg. Back in 2004, Mark Zuckerberg actually invited 5 other classmates to his dorm room to talk about a quote-unquote business opportunity. We know what that is now, right? But of the 5, only 2 showed up. Dustin Moskovich is now worth $12.7 billion, and Eduardo Severin is now worth $9.64 billion. Those are the 2 that showed up that day. I mean, what a massive lesson for the 3 people who didn't show up, and for all of us, that there's really nothing more expensive than a closed mind. Now, I get it. I get this all the time. Joe, that's amazing. That's incredible. Wow, I'm actually going to have something to retire on. It's beautiful. But I really love my broker. I don't say that in a mocking fashion. I'm sharing that with you because that was me. I totally get it. My previous broker at my previous company was a gentleman named Jerry Stapp. Amazing broker, one of the most supportive people you can ever ask for, and a really dear friend. So what I did is I decided, you know what? I do love my broker, and I really love my family and my future and my finances. I really love all those things. So what I did is I reviewed this model, made a decision that I was making the move to eXp Realty. I went and sat with Jerry Stapp, that broker that I love dearly. Not only told him that I was leaving for this model, but I shared it with him. And I'm lucky enough to share with you guys, he made the move over here with me as well. Now, Jerry had a little bit of a problem. Jerry loved the company and the people that he worked with too. So we came up with a really simple solution. A gentleman named Larry White, which is who Jerry worked with at the previous brokerage, who was like his mentor and boss in the whole 9 yards, he brought him with us as well. So I share that with you guys for a couple of things. Number one, make the decision for you and your family and your future and your career. And then you'd be really, really surprised that the smart people that you think would never be an opportunity to make the move with you, when they see this model and see the conviction that you have about it, you'd be surprised how many mountains you can move as well. So again, thank you guys very much for joining us this morning. I want to make sure that you know it's super important to get with the person who invited you. Ask a million questions. Let's run your numbers. We're really excited to bring you on, not only as a great real estate professional that we can help grow in production, but someone that we want to put in a position of ownership. So enjoy the rest of your day. We'll look forward to speaking with you guys. And thank you again for joining today, guys. Take care.